How do you create good 3D characters and assets? You just need good ideas and references, right? But where do you get ideas and references and concept? Well, in the age of AI, it should be simple, right? Should we just ask AI to create something cool? Absolutely no. This is the single biggest mistake you can do. And this is exactly how Slop is born. When you allow AI to decide what is good and what's bad. AI is cool, but it's no more than a tool, and you should use it right. And in this video, I'm gonna show you how I use AI to create really nice, unforgettable characters that many people will enjoy watching or playing inside the games. I will go through this process step by step, explain all the things that I learned over time and the system I built around it to get things done. Shall we start cooking, guys? To begin with, we need to decide what we're gonna create. And specifically for this video, I did not prepare anything but the mockup. And here are my images that we're gonna start with. Of course, this will be my Mr. Mark. If you watch my channel, you of course know about this adorable, nicest, smallest, cutest. Well, he's my anxiety doctor, and he's also the manager of my channel, and he deserves to get another character. I already created 2 of them, but if I want to put some passion into it, and the good character must have some spark, some inspiration, some passion from yourselves, then I had to do that. And I gonna make it exceptional because I like that idea, and I gonna tell story through this character. So as a mood board, I do have 2 characters that I already created, and yeah, the original photo of my Mr. Muck. And there is another reference. Why? Because it will be used for female version. Basically, we're gonna create a combination. We're gonna create Mr. and Mrs. Muck. How about that? Now, the first step is already on your screen. We need to collect inspiration. Not always you have images like me, so you can look for them or you can actually generate them. But this is just a prerequisite. The first step, we're gonna need to start the process, and we need some anchors to get to it. And later, we're gonna use my system to make it great. Recently, I explored a very nice tool which we're gonna use in this video. So let's start with the Mr. Mark. Alright, so I want to create a character that will be someone from the Arcane universe, from the Piltover, I would suggest. And this is a character, this is a pig, and he's quite kind. He has prominent pink nose. His skin is like white with great areas, so you can use my references for inspiration. But this time the character is very kind and he's sort of mechanic, but yet he's a technician, but he also runs that small business or entrepreneurship, let it be Sniff Incorporation. So he's the guy who runs the business and also knows how to do things by his hands. It should be styled arcane style in terms of like colors, but look like 3D. Give me 8 examples, generate the images with Nana Banana Pro. The character should not be overloaded, should be few distinguished items or dress, etc. Let's do that. Alright, so I just showed you guys how I actually do the thing. I always use voice inputs and try to shape my thoughts on the way. So let's begin with the first stage. The good thing that the tool we're gonna use today, the Lovart, it has an amazing agent, so you can just tell like whatever image model you want to use, how many of this you want to generate, and this agent gonna remember all of this and get the iterations done. While it's generating, we're gonna do the same thing for the lady of the Mr. Mark. Again, we are on the very first stage. We're gonna apply all the rules after we have the anchors. That's the goal of the very first step. Alright, right after you are done with the Mr. Mark, I want you to design the character that will be lady of Mr. Mark. That will be a Mrs. Mac, and she is inspired by Jessica. They live in the same universe, so all styling should be similar to what we have for Mr. Mark. I don't want to copy Jessica one-to-one. I want it to be more like pig. But again, if Mr. Mark has a big nose, prominent nose, Mrs. Mark, we can make her like pure white skin, like, you know, like very elegant cat, but pig. And maybe like shorter red hair, or maybe other color that will work with her. Give me some ideas. And for the dress, again, maybe that can be like a pink, because nose is pink, maybe like some darker pink color, right, Mr. Mark? Yeah, I think like something like that. So give me also like 5 images that will generate 5 images with Nana Banana Pro. In the meantime, we already see that my image is getting done, and I think it's closer. We're gonna figure it out. Actually, I really like this idea. Definitely keep it like I was thinking about for quite a while, like Sniff Incorporation. We need to short down ink. Okay, so first generation is done. Let's run the generation for our Mrs. Muck. While that's gonna happen. Here's how I approach inspiration. So now from this generation, so I'm gonna select the best one and start doing the next iteration. To be honest, I think I like this one more. This is how I envision. It's like a technician, right? It's not a mechanic, really. You know that meme, like, what gender you are? Like, I'm a mechanic. Actually, I think like this one is the closest. I have some ideas about the face. I think like the nose should be more like this, right? Maybe I don't want it like less triangle, like smile, like emoji. It's actually not bad, but it uses the wrong concept, right? So it's more of this. So I want nose to be like that, but bigger, maybe. But I think like the nose here also look good. Okay, Mrs. Mug. I think my translation is a bit wrong. Again, I just kindly let him know for the future purposes. All right, so I think these two are the closest from what I'm looking for. And his nose should be like bigger, like a little bit bigger than it is right now. Maybe the mouth should be smaller, and the overall shape must be more kind. I think like the one that's in the blue jacket is the best one. And also, yeah, I want it to be more focused on tech, right? Like a hex tech engineer, let's say, like someone like doing some stuff with the hex tech. The Sniff incorporation should be a Sniff Inc. short version, right? And he should be more like a scientist, like elegant, but also like a guy who can build with hands, right? So we are getting closer actually. Give me 5 more examples based on my revision. So this is how process start, and you basically go clue by clue, find what catches, generate more, see what actually clicks. You guys at this stage are the judgment machine, and imagine you ask AI to generate it at once. Then you probably get this guy and there's no history behind it, but that's not even close from what I have in mind. When you ask AI to just build me some cool reference and stuff and do not review that, there will never be something worse. People feel that, you feel that. In fact, what is Slop? Slop is unwanted AI generated content, or basically the content no one ever reviewed. And there's quite a lot of this content, and I feel sorry about it, and I really hate it. But in the same time, there is such a big lack of good taste. So you guys must invest into development of your taste, of your judgment, learn about it. And this is exactly what's gonna happen next. For Mrs. Mac, I think this one is and this one are the best one. I think we're gonna use them. So I'm gonna create a separate thread so you can see the whole evolution of my character. Now let me provide a feedback here first. So should we create 2 characters at a time, but it's like a pair character. All right, I like Mrs. Mac here. I would say the one that is more elegant. Keep the style close to arcane style, please, like this hand-drawn effects, but while keeping it still 3D. I like where the fur is sort of a little bit visible as a texture, but not too much. It should be like nice, solid white skin, and she can be even a little bit more elegant. Her mouth should be smaller, like very elegant, and her nose should be even smaller, like on the one on the left. For the hair, again, I also like it more on the left. I usually do like that, and sometimes additionally. Control, you can always like add something more. So yeah, make hair a bit more styled, so we can create that in 3D later. Ears, yeah, nice, can be smaller, but again, like her proportions, she will be taller than Mr. Mac, but her proportion, she must be like thinner, elegant. But at the same time, I want face to be sort of arrogant, but inside she is kind, right? So it is like a public arrogant sort of thing. All right, we're moving, we're making progress here. What about here? I think here we actually went to wrong direction. I think we're losing style here. That's not what I like. Okay, guys, and I finally made it. So here you can see my final concepts, and I'm extremely happy already, but we are just getting started. So yeah, you can see there's a plenty of decision after. So I did like quite a lot of iteration. Basically each line is an iteration, and here you can see like how I went through. And by the way, this is the first that was generated. So yeah, it was not even close. We actually could ended up like with this family, and I can already imagine you seeing that in some YouTube shorts. Oh guys, not this time. We're gonna build some quality stuff. All right, so now we're gonna need to refine it. And I actually want to suggest you 4 rules to follow that will make your characters not good, but even great. And yeah, all this process I'm doing like in this new tool I explored called Lovart that helps me significantly save time and keep track on all of things. And I'm gonna show you more cool stuff that we can do here that's to save time. The rule number 1 is to define the silhouette. And there's quite a lot of articles about it, and the one I can refer to is from the Disney. And it's quite funny how they explain, right? We need to make sure that even that the character is in the dark, that the silhouette is already readable, right? So it actually gives the idea about what the character is. And I think I already did the great job. But how about we actually ask it to check the silhouette and we're gonna confirm if we are happy with it. Because not all the proportions are here. By the way, guys, shapes tell a lot. So for example, circle makes the character friendlier, right? Square goes for strength and reliability. Triangles can go for danger, unpredictability, and movement. Spirals for life, like cycles of life, creativity. And there's quite a lot of things that consciously you might read and you do read, but you never actually thought about. So I really encourage you to take a look on that. And if you're not sure, you can always ask AI to help with that. And by the way, I already have my silhouettes ready. I actually generated them twice and I think I'm actually pretty happy. Okay, actually can use the pencil here, so let's review them. I guess I'm quite lucky because in my case, I do have very prominent ears, right? So this actually works for me very nice. I mean, you can definitely tell that this one is a creature. I mean, I don't think like you can tell that's a pig right away, but it definitely distinguishable. And the shape overall, it actually works right. But if your character has nothing distinguishable, probably this character will not be recognized and be forgotten right away. So this is very interesting technique that I really encourage you to take a look. It also might force you to think about adding some detail, like small character with a big sword, and that what makes that character distinguishable, like a big sword, right? So it's not only the character must have very distinguishable feature, not really. It can also be an object, like here we can see the explanation from Disney team, and that even goes for gestures. So shapes and silhouettes are extremely important. Okay, the rule number 2 will be about proportions, and the right proportions tells a lot about the character. Okay, so the proportions are extremely important. You already know that if you make head bigger than the body, it will be a chibi character, and we think about it as a cute thing. And for example, for the superheroes, that's the completely opposite. The head is usually smaller and the body is very big, right? That's how we show it. The guy is extremely strong, and so the body is equivalent to 9 heads. For the realistic adults, it is a proportion of 7.5 heads, size of a body. Now let's review the proportion. To do so, we actually need to bring out our character on the solid background and put him full body on the image. All right, here we go. We do have characters. All right, the characters are ready. I also need to make a note that sometimes you might choose the preferred image generation model, such as GPT-2 or Nano Banana Pro. I think in some cases Nano Banana Pro do better job. Sometimes ChatGPT does better job. Anyway, I got my results. I can suggest you to check here in Imagen has way more than usually need, like Recraft, Seedream, Luma, Flux 2 Max, and other models. And that's probably the widest range of models I ever seen in any tool like this. And by the way, guys, if you want to try Lovart, the link of course will be in the description. And this is by far one of the best tool for doing concepts and stuff. Like we gonna still to check all the tools, like for example for multi-view there's a multi-angle tool that actually helps to do that right here, like in this way. This is like absolutely cool. And or you can actually do like another views, right? You can just run it and generate any view. You can also access the video generation model such as Seedream. You can also access with plenty of settings. So this all-in-one canvas for doing this stuff, which is amazing. And you can see it's quite a good job, quite fast. Anyway, speaking of proportions, now let's make sure our proportions are right. Now I want you to evaluate the proportions of my characters, and what I feel is that my Mr. Mark, if you are not sure about the proportions to choose, you can always ask the agent or again ask to ChatGPT to help you out. It is quite a well-known knowledge, and yeah, here we can see the current proportion analysis. Okay, very interesting. So actually my Mrs. Mark is taller than she should be, so I guess like she should be smaller. Let's see if it works better. And Mr. Mark is actually taller than he should be. I don't think it's like right calculation. Oh, actually I understand, like if the head will be bigger. Yeah, well, I actually missed that. Yeah, I just want like head a little bit bigger, and And yeah, actually here I see the answer. For the heroine, again, it's either head must be a little bit bigger, right? So it should be like 6 heads target. Well, let's see the results. Okay, so here are the results, and it's a little bit different from what I expect. So if we take a look, it will be something around this, and it actually is perfect for a cartoon. But mine is not really a cartoon, right? So I guess like I misunderstood myself. So we're gonna keep it as a lesson. I think, no, let's do the revisit, and I'm gonna actually adjust the way I'm thinking about it. So, all right, and I actually made it. It took me quite iterations, right? Until I'm actually happy. I figure out that I really need to make him like more mature in terms of proportions, in terms of body. And so here's the original one, and here's the final one. So he's not just a bigger, like you see, the waist is kept the same, which is intentional, but he's sort of like more like a man, right? Instead of like cartoonish guy, because now he is just small but less cartoonish. So yeah, I mean, I really like it better right now, and he is a better fit for the Mrs. Mac. So I think this should be something like this in terms of real size. Yes, and actually I can click this button, and really like to using this, right? So I think this is a very good fit. Amazing. It's just amazing. I like it absolutely. Yeah, let's remove it for now. Now, I actually already feel tired, and I just did nothing but just talking to the AI agent. But not really, guys. I was doing quite a lot of thinking and decision what's good, what I want, and what not. So this means that we're actually doing something right. Now, the rule number 3 is my favorite one that I use for everything. It's like 60, 30, 10. This rule is applicable everywhere, right? Can be a movie, can be interior design, and can be character. And you can see like a lot of articles about it. It's not exactly to follow 60, 30, 10, but again, there's always a primary color. There's always a secondary color, and there's a color to highlight. We don't want a rainbow because it will be hard to follow, hard to track what's happening on the screen. And yeah, you can see that this is widely used everywhere. In our case, characters like Mickey Mouse, black fur 60, red shorts 30, white gloves plus yellow shoes 10%. Spider-Man, red 60, blue 30, black web pattern 10. Marceline Adventure Times, gray blue skin 60, black clothing 30, bright red boots 10. And this list can go on and on. And those characters are quite recognizable, right? So let's check that we actually passed this check. Not sure 100%, but AI is actually very good with it. And here's what I'm gonna do. Give me refined version, each pipe variations, and each variation might be slightly different in terms of the colors we choose. Okay, and here are the results. And actually, they are not that bad. That's definitely make a lot of sense. I would say my favorite one is the green one for some reason. So I'm gonna take it here. And for Mrs. Mock, I definitely stick with the red. So other combinations just not work for me. But I like this both of them. Actually, we're gonna need to do one more iteration, but just want to show you like that it really makes difference, right? On the accents. Let's say here we can see this is like more distinguishable, right? It like you definitely more noticeable when it is like that on the contrast. And you know, like this piece of additional 10% really makes sense. Not sure, but I think I'm gonna go with this one. This one is definitely my favorite. And yeah, and I actually fixed the skin. Actually, I think it's perfect. Why do I ever complain, right? It looks super good. Okay, but for Mac, I'm not that happy. I think I want like light gray, something like that, but I don't want him that perfect white skin. That's not what I want. He's man after all. A bit dirty, maybe. A bit more gray, not dirty. And guys, this one was way more difficult than I imagined. So I actually have 2 candidates. Yeah, this one was definitely the best one for in terms of colors. I'm super happy now. I was actually even playing a little bit with the skin color. For the the Mrs. Mark, it was more or less obvious. I just like this one and we're ready for the next rule. What is here? I think I'm gonna go with this one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this one. I definitely like this one. It's like super nice. Okay, yeah, you can see like how much iterations I made. And here we go with the final one. Well, guys, creating of a good character really takes time and a lot of thinking, effort, and creative energy. So we have this one. Super happy with this one. Let's look like an amazing couple. I'm like, I don't know, I'm proud of myself. It looks even better than I imagined. Like, and the next step, or rule number 4, is a story iceberg or details. So it is really worth to ask yourself, what is this character about? If you are not good with asking questions, we'll pretty much like ask ChatGPT or agent to help you with that. For example, we can go like this. I want you to ask me questions about the background of this character, and I want you to help me refine the details so they are actually making sense. And here are the questions, and actually like the first question is extremely reasonable. I don't even know like why MB third. I didn't ask for it, right? So we're gonna replace it. What technology era it is? Very good question. What's his personality? What does he actually build in Winds? Right. Okay. And what's his relationship to Mr. Mark? Right. This is actually very interesting. Ask it to give it some details and then review the final results. And finally, I'm happy with it. So there are quite a lot I actually explained to the AI, and yet it's done, right? Also, what I used to do that, which I didn't show you, is that here you can actually, with control, you can click on some area and I will highlight some area. So you can quick edit the area, like let's say remove this pin. Yeah, here you can see the image with removed pin. So yeah, this one is very useful. And now we can actually move to the final step and get ready this for generation, which is actually absolutely technical. It's not that difficult. We're gonna need to split them to the parts, and I also gonna generate a turntable video just for you, so you're gonna see how cool this character are. Okay, and after a while, here's the prompt is done. Okay, so here what we have for the lady. Actually, I was thinking like it will be some problems because sometimes like, oh, it's not allowed, but yeah, I don't need nudity, but I need the body alone still to generate, right? And there was no problem and there is no forbidden content, right? So we have all the parts here, and for Mr. Mark as well. For Mr. Mark is easier. We just need this one, but yeah, and you can see like it removed all the tools. It's exactly how I want. I guess I'm gonna recreate them later and add them. And also, yeah, the turntable video. Oh, by the way, for turntable, I was not happy when it generated first time with sedence. The proportions are off. So it actually generated it with Kling. And this one is better, definitely. This one is fine. Yeah, I think that's a good reference as well. Amazing. Well, guys, this is actually how I create characters. And this is not a fast process when you want to create something really good one. I really want to know, guys, what you think about what I created and whether you really gonna use this approach. I am quite proud of myself. I think this is like really cool character. One of the coolest I created like on this way. And this video was recorded like all in one go and took around 3 hours. Again, taking into account all the iterations, right? We're gonna create 3D models with Tripo, or you can also use Hunyuan, which is free. Okay, we're gonna go create them part by part. Texture. Additionally, you can use free tools such as Modif to do some additional retexturing. Also works very well. Then, of course, we're gonna go assembly that in Blender. When all of that works together, maybe some sculpting, put things together, cut the parts that will be hidden, and we can take it to the rigging. And by the way, guys, if you don't know, I released the full course about 3D AI, how to develop characters from scratch using AI. I put a lot of effort to extract only needed 10% of 3D skills and knowledge about best 3D AI tools so you can create this on your own. And when it's all done, let's take a look on the results, and they look just amazing. I am super happy with the result. I guess this character will be used even more later. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. It was very useful for you, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I see you in the next video.